We've left the fighting pits behind. We're now making our way up into the machinery. Margery has stepped it up and really given us a hand with a huge block of ice to slow down our pursuers. We've got the goblins with us in the inner corridors of the machine. Things have been pretty brutal so far and may only get more intense from here on out. Look at all the viewer discretions in the comments below. The signs are saying the command center is just up ahead. Wait, is that fog? Where's that coming from? Are those horns? Look out, Haribo!
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, a wider world. This season, a D&D podcast about 4 wayward adventurers out to rescue some goblins, so close, and figure out what's wrong with Wilhelm's Hole, much further away than ever before. I'm M, and I play Haribo Tamagotchi, changeling artificer, not of this world. I'm a hobgoblin now. Yeah. And I'm scared. The question of the day is, I just said it out loud. Oh yeah, if we were gonna do a
spin-off,
if our character was gonna do a spin-off, there it is, thank you, with another NPC, who to be, and I think Haribo's. It feels too on the nose to say Koryak.
Oh, I think there are lots of stories to be told there.
What would you do? Just like the My Best Friend show? This is my best friend?
Oh, no. I thought of one. Haribo's would be like an old, Scooby-Doo era cartoon of his time in the Feywilds. Like, it would be like goofy sounds of him like trying to run away. He's running in place and tries to escape or whatever. And then that weird dark force that is for sure still creepy, like stops him or like tricks him in some way. That would for sure be my spinoff.
Which character is that with?
The NPC from the Dream episode that was very frightening and only had an eye and an arm that came down from nowhere. That would be my NPC spinoff.
What a buddy act. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's I think it's like a weird, fun quirkiness to it, but when you sit back and you tell someone about the show, they're like, this is dark, no? And you're like, no, it's funny. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Is that super dark? You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of vibe.
It's just like Over the Garden Wall. It's very cute and fun.
Yeah, until you get to the last episode.
And my name is Lawrence, and I play Sparkleoneous, and I'm the bard who's made of jelly. As far as spin-offs, I just had this brain blast a second ago. I would love a spin-off where it is sort of like The Bachelor. No, not The Bachelor. What's the one where they have the lineup? 3 people lined up, and then there's a host? Dating game. It's called Dating Game.
Oh, they're like in boxes and they can't see each other?
I want a dating game starring Sparkleoneous and the host, Gibb.
Oh my god.
Because I think Gibb would have some great questions for me to ask the bachelorettes.
I felt almost certain that you were going to go with a spin-off of Sparkleoneous Training Camp with the kobolds for the Shakespeare show.
I would love to see the rehearsal, I think is what the name of that show, the rehearsal, but with Sparkleoneous and all of the kobolds. That would be good, but no matter what, I want Gibb there. I think Gibb and Sparkleoneous is a hilarious double feature because both of us are freaks. Neither of us know how to hold a regular conversation.
My name is Grace Stringer, and I play Margery Ridgeback, the necromancer cleric of our group. And, low-hanging fruit, I think it would be Margery and Gibb. But I think it would be, like, adventure, but, like, the Good Adventures of Billy and Mandy, where Margery is, like, the tired instructor. I'm showing you how to live your life. I'm showing you how to be a good servant to Belcheron. But there's also, like, shenanigans that occur, as it would occur in the Good Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
And with Gibb in general, for sure.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. Me trying to teach him to be a Belcher and him just absolutely giving it up the whole time.
I like that a lot. Man, it's been a minute since I've thought about that cartoon.
Right? Billy sometimes was too much for me, borderline. I'm not a huge fan of, like, gross humor. Like, I'm picking my nose, and isn't that funny?
Yeah, there was a certain vibe to that age as well. It's like half the cartoons were that sort of
stereotypical boy humor.
I will say I prefer that far to its whatever followed it, to like the annoying orange era of cartoons where it's still gross and bad, but now it's just like loud and also obnoxious and bad all the time. Anyway.
And on that note, I am Thaddeus Ofkoot, the fighter who is made out of Mountain Dwarf.
Just of one though, right?
Yes, just one Mountain Dwarf. Yeah, he's not like a not an amalgamation of multiple mountain dwarves.
He's 3 dwarfs in a dwarf coat.
Yeah,
He's not the tallest dwarf, he's the 3 shortest dwarves.
which is really off-putting.
They skin the tallest dwarf and are puppeteering him. They are both.
Dreadful.
Yeah, should be really weird in his midriff chainmail that you'd see one of the dwarves in the middle.
Anyway, spin-offs.
So my first thought was sort of the odd couple of Thaddeus and Hrumnum, but really it wouldn't go very far because it would mostly just be Thaddeus knocking Hrumnum unconscious for his idiot decisions. So I'm thinking it would be the Hobgoblin chieftain that was wearing the chitinous armor, and it'd be like their warrior buddy story, and they could have all kinds of interesting adventures. And sometimes they would get along, and sometimes they would not.
They could share their stories, quote unquote, over some ales, and the episodes would be like us acting them out if we did a side thing. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Drunk personal history.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
I think there's probably a market for the knocking Hrumnum unconscious show also.
That relationship to me doesn't last more than a couple episodes because we also don't like we knock him unconscious because we don't like him.
Hrumnum is it's like the bait and switch. The first episode is buddies with Hrumnum, and we knock Hrumnum unconscious a bunch, and then we arrive at the Hobgoblin camp, and that chieftain also knocks Hrumnum unconscious. And that's how we rebond, and it becomes this show instead, and we leave Hrumnum in the camp. Anyways, I'm Theodore Stringer, game master, player of all the other characters. As far as a spin-off goes, I don't know, I think Wilhelm would be fun to follow around.
Why? Because we haven't done it all season?
What was that? Oh. What was that other group? What was that band? Kissing Lips. That would be a good side story.
Yeah, they're off doing their own thing.
Or the elf children.
I think actually it's got to be Kandra and the Churchant.
Oh, the Churchant.
Oh my gosh.
I think that would be fun. I think the Churchant and his church wagon being Kandra's door out into the wider world could be fun.
Where is she right now with the shit that's going down?
We don't know.
Damn, alright, well.
If I recall, she was up on the pedestal with Miranda and the Chief Lord, so
Yeah, I think that's right.
probably ushered away with the Chief Lord, I would imagine, unless now she's tasked with chasing us too. Oh, don't make me do this.
Yeah, we'll see if she's friend or foe. I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna put my hand on Margery's shoulder, and I'm gonna say, "You got this." And all of us are just gonna look the other way. And Kandra's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And Margery's like cracking her knuckles and shaking her head.
Margery, I think we're gonna have to kill this guy.
I'm like jumping in place, getting my
Exactly.
looking at my shoulders. Marjorie's okay with dealing with betrayal.
Dang, Margery, I think we're gonna have to kill this guy.
Oh no!
But we have to kill someone first, because last time we ended up in a pretty nasty fight. We ran through the tunnels, we cast some cool-ass spells with sunglasses, and knocked a lot of hobgoblins off and into the pit. We didn't have to worry about them anymore. We bypassed them. Instead of heading into the tunnels, we headed up and into the machine looking for the control center, because Haribo felt that he had more control if he could find the control center and let everyone up. We bypassed some walkways with cubes of ice, though if we need to, beyond that cube of ice is the engine room, if I recall. I don't know if that'll be important. Up the ladder, we have HR off one direction, and off the other direction, a fog cloud with Miranda's glowing horns. She has cast a spell, it bounced off my armor, and then I cast a spell back, missing her, and we exchanged some words, and I think, like, the beginning of combat has started. We recorded just a touch more, but that was where it cut off, unfortunately, so I said, we don't have to do this, and she said, I think we do, or something.
So, Plan D Part 2 or Initiative?
No
Ooh.
sexy times.
I think it's too late for that. Yeah.
It's never too late for love.
So we find ourselves at a corner. Haribo and Margery have both rounded this corner to see the glowing horns of Miranda in her cloud of fog down this hallway, which we think lies the engine control room Sparkleoneus and Gibb and Thaddeus all are bringing up the rear. Last episode, we entered initiative, and first in that initiative is Gibb.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Gibb's gonna one-shot her. I can feel it.
Gib, get out your gun.
Gibb. I try to like start ushering him behind the corner. Get behind Gibb. Stay back there. Get back behind the corner.
Gib's back.
I have a weird foresight of about how much damage she can do with one hit, Gibb, and I don't think that you can take it.
Gibb looks to Margery.
Margery nods and yeah, he's right.
Help protect the goblins from the back, Gibb.
But have your knife ready.
Okay.
He doesn't have a knife.
Does he? Did he throw it away?
He's thrown his own knife and also Sparkleoneus' knife.
Oh. Is there like a stick around or like a... Margery grabs a rock and says, alright, if you need to, throw it at somebody as hard as you can. But not any of us.
Fucking.
Gibb takes his rock and he goes and he sits down at the back of the line. He's sad.
I just think it would be funny if he just threw the rock as hard as he could at Thaddeus' face or something.
Oh no, wait, not at Thaddeus.
No, we need Thaddeus' face.
He was in a backpack carrier for long. I feel like he has a grudge.
Next up in the order is Haribo.
Oh boy. Haribo is going to point his hand at the fog cloud, but it just sort of fizzles out because he's out of spell slots. And this is not a good time to be out of spell slots. He's gonna fiddle with his belt for a second, and then he's gonna launch off just an attack at her. Stop it. And it is a roll to hit here, so I'm aiming for AC at... does a 17 hit her AC?
It does.
All right, that'll be 2d6 lightning damage. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 lightning damage. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
I get to add plus 1 more damage, so that's 8 because of my dexterity. And then I'm gonna duck back behind the corner. Say, watch out, Margery. And I'm gonna say to Thaddeus, Thaddeus, I need you out there. Please take up the front line while I try to figure out what's going on with my belt. And I start fiddling with it.
What do you think's over there, Thaddeus?
Oh, it's Miranda.
Who's Miranda?
The goblin we met out front. The lady that took me for Plan D, Sparkleoneous.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope. We need backup while I figure out my belt. And I'm gonna get to tinkering.
Yeah, last time you saw her, you took your... And Margery behind the sunglasses gets paler.
Okay. You zap her with this magic bolt.
I should have stayed out. I need to be a shield for Margery.
And she staggers back for a second, but then pauses and looks up, and you duck behind a corner, leaving Margery as the only target.
Well, you guys wonder why I'm gonna be evil.
I whisper, sorry, Margery.
Margery, you see Miranda's horns take a step closer in the cloud of fog, and you see a flicker of movement, and she says, why don't you sit down? Does a 15 hit you?
It is her armor class.
I know what that means to me.
It's bad.
Alas.
Oh.
It isn't good.
Here we go again. Take 48 damage.
You're gonna miss that 12, I think.
Yeah.
Before I die, I'll say a curse somehow. We'll see. 8. 4.
That's 12.
I'm gonna die.
Halfway there.
7. I'm dead.
Wait. What's the next one? That's 19.
Another 8.
Oh my god.
I'm dead. I'm beyond dead.
You're actually only
You guys
unconscious.
left me out there to
You
get...
had to take 28 damage to instantly die.
Ah, shoot.
You are hurt.
Debilitated even.
Thanks. My unconscious body says thanks. I'm hurt.
The smoke withering off of you wisps into the word thanks.
So cool.
The rest of you from around this corner just see Margery flung back and impact crater into the wall behind you.
Ow.
I think you stick
Ow.
upright in that hole. I think I don't want you falling out of that. So there you sit, just
Just fucking in the wall.
super duper knocked out.
Definitely unconscious. Super knocked out. So lucky to be alive.
And it was your turn next.
Well,
Which means you make a death saving throw. You're gonna roll a d20. If you get a 10 or above, it is a success. On each of your turns, you get to roll once, and you're looking for 3 successes or 3 failures before something changes.
Okay, I rolled 19.
That's good.
Nice.
That's a success.
You're a third of the way from waking up.
Okay.
On 3 successes, you stabilize, but don't wake up.
Oh, you don't?
Not on 3 successes.
Never mind.
I don't think, anyway.
I believe that's correct. Someone else has to come and wake you up.
I'll smack you here in a little bit.
Margery will not forget this.
Sparkleoneus and Thaddeus have the same initiative count.
Your dex is higher for sure.
So then it is Thaddeus' turn. Thaddeus, there's a corner and one of your teammates has just eaten a lot of wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna charge into the fray.
Thaddeus, wait.
But
Before you charge into the fray, maybe let me go first?
He'll go first because my dex is trash. But before you go, real quick. Let me go.
I want to play fair, but also, do you want to let me go first?
you can go first if you want to.
Thank you. I just didn't want to have to follow you into the scary corridor. Sparkleoneous reaches out his hand and touches you, and he casts heroism on you.
Ah.
So what that's going to do, you are a willing creature, you are imbued with bravery, you are immune to being frightened, and you're going to gain my spellcasting modifier worth of temporary hit points every turn.
Every turn.
Every turn.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a grand total of 4 temporary hit points a turn.
Pretty good.
Enjoy.
So does that start with the casting of it? Gives me 4?
Yes, I believe.
At the start of each of your turns, and since you delayed your turn,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks, Sparkleoneous.
No problem.
Feeling invincible.
See you around the corner.
Indeed.
And then I also play a tune for you as you bound down the corner. Have my second to last bardic inspiration.
Nice, nice. With Sparkleoneus' song at your back, you charge in, glowing with heroism.
Go and hit that bitch. Go and hit that bitch.
So funny.
What is your movement? 25, 30?
Let's see. Speed is 25.
Even as the tallest dwarf, he still is a dwarf.
Yeah.
He still is a dwarf. You don't happen to remember how close I said that she was, do you, Em?
I mean, the wisps of smoke were coming around the corner.
24 feet?
20. It
24.
sounded like 24 feet. I think you were specific about.
From how I felt my wound, it felt like it came from 24 feet.
Yeah, so that was 24 feet points away of damage.
I can tell.
As I'm looking at this wisps of fog,
I'm 24 inches into the wall.
the wisps of fog are a 20-foot radius, so I do think that fits. I think that she is within range, right at the edge of your range, but you can run in there.
All right. I'm running in. I'm going to run in and see if I can smack her.
Get her. Get her.
And that is going to be a 21 to hit.
That does hit.
Hell yeah. That's what Margery's ghost says.
Margery's ghost says. I love it.
Oh, I minned out on damage, but I have an ability that lets me re-roll one. So I'm going to roll that again, but if I roll another one, I have to take it. That was much better. That was a 7, so that's 11 points of damage.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Oh, I rolled low, except I didn't.
Until you do twice, and then it's, well,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, then you just have to eat it.
Was my thing the most damage a character has gotten in one hit?
In this adventure,
Yes.
I would say this is about as high in terms of percentage damage a character can take without being entirely retired.
Woo!
When you get hit and you go below 0, it's kind of just nullified. You're always, like right now, you're at 0 health. If you get healed, you go for 1 point, you're at 1 point of health. But if you take damage that were to equal half of your total health negative, you die. Like you were 1 point below that threshold to just be exploded on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you were almost splattered.
Brutal. The bonus though is there is a race for the returned. It changes a bunch about yourself, but like it is mirrored off of like who you were before, and I think that's pretty neat if Margery is exploded during this.
Maybe I'll just wake up really nice and won't be evil anymore. And you guys will be even more scared because suddenly Margery's smiling.
Yeah, and how did she wake up?
She's nice? Wait.
Quick, we need to think of what the opposite of an urchin is.
Some sort of highborn.
A birchin.
Birchin's got
I just
a
went for
birch.
the other end of the alphabet, but it didn't help.
Oh,
Birchin's got a birch.
Son of a birch.
tis I, Margery the Virgin.
I'm a birchin. A cleric. Wait, no, hold on. Isn't that what you... This is confusing.
Next in the order is...
Yeah, everyone around the corner hears an ooh as Thaddeus gets in close and wallops with his hammer, driving Miranda back a step. Haribo, I guess, you feel a tugging at your pant leg.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I look away from my belt.
Gibb is down there, and he's looking at you, and he says,
Someone's coming. They're coming soon.
Hold them off, Gibb.
Gibb, we have never needed you more than we do right now. Your one job is to protect that ladder, Gibb. Do your very use the goblins. They're well trained. Goblins, you're under Gibb's command, but you will protect this ladder.
Oh, God.
I mean, honestly, they're at the top of a hatch. So what? They bust open the hatch. You start fucking stabbing down. Like, they have their weapons. They have their armor that they were in. Just phalanx around the hatch, goblins. Gibb, you're in command. You got this. We need to figure out Miranda. We have to trust you on this, Gibb.
Okay. All right, you goblins. You follow Gibb.
and the goblins are like, "Are you sure about this?"
If you want to get out of here with your lives, you have to trust us. We fly by the seat of our pants half the time, but we get where we're going.
You hear that? You listen to me or he'll kill you.
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
And Gibb marches off down the hallway.
Yep, hold the hatch until we
boy.
call for you, Gibb.
This better not be a hold the door situation. I'll be mad.
I mean, it's all we got right now. Also, I don't want to get out of here without all 30 Like, at that point, like, that's an uber failure. We lost Margery, we lost Gibb, and all 30 goblins? No way. This is just, I need them to hold them off for a bit. It buys us some time. We can provide support after we finish, hopefully, this. But Haribo's gonna fiddle with his belt. It's like running low on power right now. But he does have this old notey to like ingrain what knowledge of magic his belt does have into its like working order that he told it to hold off on for a little bit. And he doesn't really have really much of anything else to do. And so he is going to just approve that and hope that it gives him a little bit of anything. He doesn't know. That the reason he didn't do it before is because he didn't know what it would do. But he hasn't had time to break it down. So he's just gonna do it and then come back around the corner firing off shots at Miranda.
Processing message. You up?
You up? Fuck, wrong notey. No. He responds with, "I got this, bitch." But he's whispering it, but it says, "Message sent." What do you mean? No.
Message sent to mom.
Fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, a lot of those goofs don't happen because when you process accept, or when you hit accept that notey, the belt goes processing and all the lights go out on it.
Oh, that's not good.
Wait a second.
The magic's inside you all along. Margery's ghost was.
I need to see what I have turned on right now. Because I think what that does is make Haribo utterly useless.
Exceedingly vulnerable?
No, yeah, hey, both those things. Yeah, one of those things is the bag of holding, and because I was relying on the suit and my level 3 ability to shoot, I don't have my crossbow either.
Wait, so does all of your stuff appear, or is it inaccessible?
I don't know. I feel like it's inaccessible. I would hope it isn't destroyed. I think it's still storing it, but I can't pull them out.
No, I wouldn't destroy it.
I've never turned it off before.
I have a little garden knife.
Give me an intelligence check.
Yeah. Okay, that's a natural 1. I'm panicking.
Oh, man.
Oh, all right. now is the time to panic.
I'm gonna pull out my garden knife. It's the only thing I keep strapped on the hip. Pull that out, and shakily, I hold it in front of me, and I just come around the corner, and I say, "Miranda, we have you surrounded." Wait, is that my armor too? Hold on, I take a step back. Hold on 1 second, and I step back around the corner. I don't have any armor.
Classic Haribo, hide around the corner.
We've made it. Margery, you're dead. You quiet. We've made it a thing where it is part of my belt. And so if it has shut off, I don't think I have armor either.
That's why I was saying you're exceedingly vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna put my dagger away shakily again.
It's pretty bad.
Click.
You draw it, You sheath it.
And then I guess I'm gonna peek around the corner and see that they're like clanging in the fucking smoke, and I'm gonna try to run over and grab Margery and pull her out of the wall and drag her behind the corner. All I can do is support right now.
I didn't like watching all of that. This is bad.
Ow! Ow! Oh, my broken bones! Ow! Oh, my bones!
That was a 6 seconds of nightmares,
I'm
dude.
pulling on my broken bones!
6 seconds of panic and fear and anxiety. That was not a good 6 seconds. Or the one noise she can make is ow. Well, my gambit did not pay off.
That invisibility spell in my back pocket's feeling pretty good right now.
I saved a gambit and instead I fucked myself. But I pull Margery behind cover and I hope I'll get her awake. I'll slap her awake if I have to.
Ow!
That was a good turn.
That was truly one of the turns of all time.
Yeah, it was. One of the turns of all time. Name of this campaign.
Which makes it Miranda's turn. Miranda's got Thaddeus right up on her, so she's in a little bit too tight of a space to fire off more magic presently, but she does have a quarterstaff, and she's going to try and push Thaddeus back to get a little bit of space with some quarterstaff attacks here. Wow. I rolled a natural 20 and a natural 1.
Okay.
Yeah. But you choose.
Take a guess.
The one would work and the other will not.
I mean, one crushes him right in the mouth, and the second one he catches.
Yeah.
Before it crushes him right in the mouth.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah. I double damage, sure, but everyone does get just one.
Yeah, the first attack comes right down on the top of Thaddeus's head, and everyone around the corner can hear it.
It crumples in.
I hope that was Thaddeus doing that.
There's a dent in the hat now. Thaddeus take 2d6 plus 1 damage.
Sorry, my internet glitched out there for just a second. What was that for damage?
Super convenient.
No damage, huh? Okay, weird.
Damn, I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know you could just say that.
All right, moving on.
Oh, fuck, I rolled, you said 27. Oh, no, I glitched
No.
out. You said I dodged, right?
Yeah, I rolled a natural 20 actually.
So funny. 2d6 plus 1, Thaddeus.
That is a total of 6 points of damage.
Not bad.
Not bad. The second hit comes across and catches in the narrow passageway, and the two of you have a moment of like, uh-oh, and you get an extra attack on her. I would say with disadvantage because of just being conked on the noggin.
Okay. Yep. Nope. That's a 6 to hit.
Alas.
Chance given.
You swing in and miss. The two of you are locked in this standoff. She hasn't managed to gain any distance from you just yet. Sparkleoneous, I suppose, would be the next one.
Hey Thaddeus, how's it going over around the corner? Have you won yet?
Not even peeking.
No pebbles.
So far, it's okay.
Alright.
I'll get
Is
back
it
to
cool if
you.
I stay on this side of the corner?
Well, that's what y'all have been doing the whole time, so I guess.
Oof.
Got him.
Sparkleoneous, Margery needs a hand if you have any of your healing.
Yeah, I could do that. And Sparkleoneous walks over to the cover that you guys are cowering behind. One of you actively, one of you passively cowering. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Margery. So that is going to be 1d8 plus 4. Go ahead and roll that up, Margery.
Oh, I roll it?
Yeah, sure.
So 8. Yum.
Cool.
So now you're at 8.
More than half your health.
Yum yum yum.
Welcome back. Thaddeus said it's going great around the corner.
Ow.
We should be out of here in no time.
You okay? Margery, are you okay?
Margery is fixing her bones, I guess.
Fixing her
Prickling her
bones.
fingers.
Did I do them wrong? Sorry.
There's more cracking than there should be. Did I do them wrong? Sorry, they were just everywhere. I just had to put them back into where I could.
I'm not used to bones. I don't work with bones.
I'm sorry, Margery. She nearly exploded you. If you're missing anything, it's probably still out in the hallway.
Oh, ow. I don't like her.
It's all been pretty negative so far with her, hasn't it?
Margery clenches her fist and there's a little purple fire.
Oh, hell yeah. You still got the fight in you, though.
Well, I'm useless now, Margery. So up and at him. I just tap the tin belt. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, his pants don't work.
Pants don't work.
Just use your magic. Just use magic. Marjorie's being serious.
He doesn't know what that is.
That's what your belt is, right? It's just like you help. That's how you channel your magic, like my skull.
Use your technology. It's clearly better than my magic.
But it's broken right now, Margery. That's a good point. I'll consider it. He looks at his belt again. Yeah.
I was like, well, where did your magic come from? You know,
My thigh.
I'll think about that then. Marjorie shrugged.
I didn't say any of that. You said there are 3 sources of magic in my thigh. I know where it's at. Categorically, it's in my thigh.
I think I said that. Think with your thigh.
Lead with the thigh.
Use your thigh, Haribo.
Haribo leads with his thigh, I guess.
I'm done with my turn.
Okay, well that is an interesting idea, and we'll definitely come back to it. But since Sparkleoneus' turn has ended, Thaddeus' turn has come. Thaddeus, you got knocked on the noggin.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. Ooh, and as a return favor, I nat 20 and knock her on the head.
Hell yeah.
Oh no, and you have a big hammer.
Yes, I do. That will be
Head knockoff.
15 points on the head.
Hell yeah.
Conk.
Murder.
That would kill Margery.
Well, I'm not attacking Margery yet.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Dang. Okay. You absolutely crack her across the head with your hammer, and she stumbles back, and the fog that you guys have been fighting in immediately disappears.
Ooh.
And she's holding herself up against the wall. She has dropped her quarterstaff at taking this hit. She's eyeing you warily.
Do you have your action search?
I do have my action surge.
Killer!
Murder.
I know it seems kind of cowardly the way that we're playing this fight, but I do just want to quickly point out Thaddeus has never lost a 1v1, so.
Never. Anyway, no pressure.
Murder.
I actually like that idea. So feeling inspired by the chance of his friend.
From behind the corner, you hear murder.
Yeah.
She hit me really hard. Murder.
He will use his action surge.
Now he swings sideways into the wall.
Ooh, and I don't think that's going to do it. That's a 9, but I could use Bardic Inspiration, which is that a D8?
D6.
D6. I don't know that that's going to get me there. No, that gives me to a 13, so I don't know that that's going to hit.
13 is her armor class.
Ooh, and also the Mote of Inspiration pops.
It's the first time it's used on an attack roll.
And because you did it on an attack roll, it pops thunderously. The target must take a Constitution saving throw.
13 doesn't seem very strong for a Minotaur. That's weaker than Marjorie.
Well, now.
Margery, she did 27 points of damage to you in one hit. What are you
I'm
talking
just
about?
stating the facts. No, I'm saying like her armor class. Her armor class is only 13.
Got a 21 to save.
Yeah, you're fine. It does nothing.
Well, yeah. So that's 9 points of damage from the action surge.
Now who's got 2 hit points left?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Gibb, I have a job for you.
I have a different job.
We each set up at a moment where we can throw Gibb to each other and he can just fucking come down on her. Take the XP, Gibb. Take it.
The coup de grace.
No, Gibb has a very important job right now.
Yeah, no, Gibb is down the hallway.
Leading the troops.
Can we hear the sounds of fighting?
There are sounds. There's sounds coming. There's, coming from down that hallway. But we're busy, I guess.
I mean, hey, we gotta trust Gibb at some point.
It's the sounds of goblins fighting goblins, so it's very unclear.
yeah, right.
Gibb's gotta give.
Gibb's gotta give.
Gibb's gotta
Damn.
give.
Something's gotta give.
Does that make it my turn?
It does make it your turn. Let me see. What is your focus on this turn? You've been given some really interesting direction.
He's gonna tap his belt, and he's gonna nod to himself, and he's gonna come running around the corner, and he's gonna point a finger forward fervently at Miranda and point, and he's hoping that he's gonna cast Magic Missile, because that's what he should be able to do if it were all good.
So you're pointing your thigh at her?
And Margery said it doesn't come from your belt, it comes from your thigh, so I'm focusing on my thigh.
Marjorie is like repulsed.
Ooh, power of the, power of the thigh! And I point at her.
Sparkleoneous is cheering.
Yeah! Power of the thigh!
And I am grimacing. I'm grimacing as I'm doing it too. I trust my friends, and Margery said this will work for sure. And I run around the corner and grimace.
Margery raises both hands. I did not say that. I said we should try. I do not want to take responsibility for what happens next.
She shakes her head and is backing up.
She hits pretty hard.
Marjorie's like, I wish I was still unconscious.
Yeah.
At least you can't see his belt hole from here.
Actually, I got hit so hard that it knocked the number right out of my head. I'm free.
I don't think fiddling with the belt is going to do anything since you rolled really bad.
It's off. I literally was just tinking it, you know?
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let me see if we can make something happen with your thigh. That'd be a saving throw. That'd be... Go with a charisma save.
What do I got for charisma? Okay. I'm as charismatic as I am intelligent. I like that. Don't necessarily need it. That's a 19 with the bonus.
Okay.
16 plus 3. No, sorry, I mixed up my numbers. My stat's a 16. No, that's a 9.
I was about to be like, dang, he really did believe.
Very different.
There's a bunch of 6s that were in front of me. Sorry about that. Yeah, very different.
Sparkleoneous stops clapping.
My stat's a 16, but my number I rolled was a 6. There isn't a 1 there. And I have plus 3, so that's a 9.
I like to think that it starts to work and his leg glows and then something happens.
Yeah, right. It surges up and then
Yeah, you
nothing.
feel a twinge in your thigh and you're like, oh, something's coming. And you get a Charlie horse.
Fuck!
My leg!
It was so close.
Maybe I just fucking hurl a rock at her. I don't know. I can't do nothing else.
Yeah, dude, pull Gibb.
My magic is gone. All of my fucking tools are in the belt. Hey, this is why we field test items. I never thought of this being a problem.
Margery looks at him. Why'd you put everything in there? What happens to it? So everything you own is in there? Your money?
Stop asking questions, Margery. I am panicking.
Marjorie's smiling. All your stuff is just in there?
Your spare clothes.
My silk underoos, Margery, are buried deep within the belt right now.
That's usually how pants work.
Everything was in my
The
belt.
moment we find out that Haribo had a mild disdain for the wagon.
I don't keep a bag because I had a cool bag of infinite holding.
If something happens to it, then you don't have anything.
The goal, yes, the field testing, Margery. The goal was nothing for it. Yes, thank you.
I don't know why you all don't just keep your items inside of yourself.
I mean, technically he could.
This is my pot, Sparkleoneous, but I just don't. My pot turned off.
Pot turned off.
Pretty bad.
Pot turned off. I think I'd let you hug a rock if you wanted to hug a rock. If you wanted your action to...
Yeah, I will frustratedly pick up a rock and huck it at Miranda. Natural 2, so it doesn't even get halfway down the hallway. This is why I have the suit. I kick a couple rocks and stomp back behind the corner.
An incredible turn.
Crashing out. Just
10
totally
out of
tantrum.
10.
Beautiful.
At the end of your turn, Haribo, your belt says rebooting.
Rebooting because I feel bad. Rebooting.
After I embarrassed myself? Yeah. This is too cringe. Coming back online. Ugh.
Ew!
Oh.
Ew!
Shut up. No, that's not that. It's frustration moaning. Stop it.
Miranda, from her position against the wall here,
What an awful turn. Sorry.
is going to try and shoot another blast of force at Thaddeus. Well, that was a 3. So she blasts and a puff of breeze wafts your beard, and she takes a swipe at you with her...
Hands, empty palms.
Yeah, she dropped her quarterstaff, yeah.
Yeah, she dropped her quarterstaff, didn't she?
Does she also have a rock now? Just primitive rock throwing time?
She picked up the rock that slowly made its way over.
The same rock?
My rock bounced and rolled to
Same
her.
rock.
Yeah.
Slowly rolled to her feet.
Okay, no, here's what she'll do. Thaddeus, you see her reach into her belt and take out a
Copycat.
small vial
Okay.
and unstop her and drink the contents of
Oh,
it.
fuck. I wish I could have seen that to warn you. Thaddeus, watch
Oh
out.
no, she's getting high.
You see her eyes flare in the darkness, and you see I guess the fog is gone also. So she just lifts up off the ground and begins to fly
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
A flying Minotaur. Shit.
She floats up towards the ceiling of the tunnel and zips past you around the corner and past the party.
As she leaves his range, does he get an opportunity attack on her?
I don't see why not.
Fuck yeah.
That's going to be a 13.
As we have already established.
Yeah.
Unless that potion also gave armor class.
It did not.
Oh,
Just more spell slots.
She floats up and Thaddeus fucking smacks her into the wall.
she starts to float up and then she's fly swatted.
Shouldn't lob an easy one at me.
Margery puts 2 fists in the air. Fuck yeah!
And that is 13 points of damage.
Oh, goodness.
My God.
Man,
Fly swattered.
my mid-boss.
Undefeated.
Had I been a normal height dwarf, I probably wouldn't have been able to reach her. Yeah.
This is tallest dwarf status. I may have 25 feet, but I'll smack a bitch.
All of my height is in my arms.
Right.
Yeah, you bring her smacking down. You feel something give under your hammer, and she goes still on the ground. There are still sounds of battle back behind you, and the unknown is in front of you.
I mean, Haribo spins and starts running back down. I gotta help. I draw my dagger. My belt is still doing its thing, so that's what I got. I'm gonna run back down to help the goblins or see what I can do in this mess, because that's next.
And am I leaving her as she is
She did.
and running to help? Or should we leave somebody to make sure she's dead?
Sparkleoneous sees you guys headed back towards where the goblins are going, and Sparkleoneous says, "Hey, what about the machine room? I thought that's where you guys were headed. I can't work anything."
I guess we should trust them. I mean, should we not help them?
I can go see if the goblins are okay. I mean, me and Margery can go.
Oh yeah, me and Thaddeus can work the machine room.
I think we should help the goblins before we do anything else.
Yeah, come on, I'll help you
Margery was edging towards the prone body. And, oh, all right.
Haribo spins on a dime and runs
Wait,
back.
I want to check she's dead.
Do you want to kill her, Margery? I say as I jog past.
Well, let me see if she's
kill
dead
the
first.
corpse?
He said he went still, not like still with death.
Do your stabbing thing. Go ahead. We have time, probably.
Well, Gabe, is she dead?
Are you gonna go and...
Yeah, I'll walk over. I feel like I don't have to roll. I mean, is she dead?
Yeah, no, she's dead. You can feel the death on her with your necromancer-ness.
No.
Wait, Margery. Luda. Is there anything in her pockets?
I was already looting. I'm already looting. Now she's dead.
Yeah, but now that I've said it out loud, you know that I know you're looting her. And if you find nothing on a mid-boss like this, I'll know you're hiding it.
I don't even know what a mid-boss is.
You're not even here, Haribo.
Fuck, I'm not.
I thought you were at the goblin.
We've been watching you this whole time, Margery. I want to know if there's any loot on her.
Where were any of you guys? I got fucking
Around the corner.
smacked into the wall. I deserve this loot. Y'all didn't.
Around the corner, where we were safe, Margery.
We're wise to your urchin
Why
nature.
don't you take it from me then?
Let's see what she has first. I know how much health you have left.
Yeah, Mr. Belt, that doesn't work.
Shit.
Let's all take a deep breath and say out loud how many spell slots we have. I have 3.
Haribo tinks his belt fast. Hurry up.
What does the Minotaur have loot-wise?
Give me an investigation check.
Okie dokie.
Let's all take a deep breath and say how many spell slots we have.
Oh, -1. Yeah, beans. Yeah, that's great. Okay, 14.
It's not a bad outcome, hopefully.
I think you find a small sack of gems and wizarding potion ingredients. You find 5 unlabeled vials.
Do they look like the vial she drank out of?
They all look the same, yes.
I love giving Margery more grab bag items.
It's all going.
Can I pick up her quarterstaff?
Where? I thought you were goblins.
I'm going to the goblins. He's going to the machines.
Yeah, I turned around.
I'm going to goblins.
Yeah, we just came back to the
I'm
body
getting
to search her
goblins.
and see if she was dead.
He just came back to watch
Yes,
you
he
loot.
did.
Yeah, for sure. I'm watching your hands right now.
You also find a pendant, a pair of bracers, and a dagger.
Gibb.
Oh, yeah. Don't throw this one, Gibb. Till we can figure out what it does. Does any of this stuff feel magical? As she's like just pulling it off of her.
Am I putting in my bag?
Wouldn't you like to know, belt boy?
Wouldn't you like to know, belt? Wait, Margery. Can we at least check if any of this stuff has any like excess power we can use to get out of here?
Don't tell him, Margery.
I'm watching.
I'm just kidding. I'm being a stinker. It's the nerves.
Is the pendant magical? I hand Haribo one of the vials. I'm like, look at this.
I'll help her do quick checks, yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, this one is the drug that she had me ingest. I would imagine it's sort of a thing for spellcasters on the battlefield. It juices your spells.
Roids, huh?
Which I could use. I seem pretty low myself. My belt was low last time I checked, but this let me just sort of cast. If I could take 1 or 2 of these, that would be helpful for the remainder of this. I could get high again.
Yeah, I pass him 2 of them and I pocket the other 2.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give one to Sparkleoneus too, and I say, hey, if you feel yourself low on energy and you need a little kick, this will give you, I don't know about how long.
Dude, hey, do drugs.
No, that's okay. I'm straight edge.
But it's just sort of a last resort? You don't even want it in your pocket?
No, my last resort is to turn invisible and leave.
I guess you did say that. I guess, okay, I pocket the other one.
Marjorie's like, hell yeah. Wish I could turn invisible.
That's metal as fuck, dude.
I just like to be upfront. I still need to go find my manager.
What about bracers or amulet or dagger or staff?
All 3 of these items are magical.
What about her quarterstaff?
Not the quarterstaff.
I put the quarterstaff back down.
You pick it up and you're like, nope.
Yep, nope. I put it right back down where it was.
I already have the dagger for Gibb. Is there a way to like check the enchantment's not gonna like curse him or give him uber power? Or?
Not right now, I don't think.
Yeah, we'll need some time to...
Hasn't he already been Belcheroon?
That's not a curse, it's a blessing. He welcomes Belcheroon into his heart.
10 out
That's
of 10
awesome.
line.
That was
10 out of 10
awesome.
line.
That was.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can check those out later. I think we should get to helping now that we've spent 45 minutes looting her.
Oh yeah, what were we doing? Oh yeah, goblins, gotta go.
Go. Oh, Thaddeus, control room.
Let's go.
And we split up.
Haribo, Thaddeus, you continue down this hallway until you reach not much further down, an old doorway. Ancient dwarven runes over the top of it. Say engine, probably. Yeah.
The right in. The control center. This is what all the signs were pointing to. In we go.
In we go. We come in, and this room is fairly small, but pretty complicated looking. On one side are more of these banks of control towers, basically a whole wall made of them. The other side is all windows with a control panel extending out from them. The windows presently look down onto the engine room. Thaddeus, you recognize that this is great dwarven craftsmanship. Haribo, I think you recognize the engine-ness of it, this massive contraption beneath you. What's the play?
Well, first we need to get a lay of the land. We need to figure out what is what. If there's any labels, if there's any like inferences we can make, directional levers to tell us that something is closer to steering, or man, I am not the sort of scientist that would know and understand machines, but I think that Haribo would be able to start breaking it down backwards if he could get any sort of like reference point.
Okay.
Thaddeus, I have a pretty solid understanding of how machines in general work, and this definitely feels like the control center. I'm just, if you could, I don't know if any of your knowledge of like ancient dwarven craft or anything could help point me in the right direction as to where to get started. Maybe we can get some engines turned on just as a starting point. We need to figure out at a minimum how to get this thing moving or producing. I don't know enough about them, but if anything you know could help, maybe that could point me in the right direction of what to push and pull.
I'm pretty good with stonework, and I could probably help if there's any dwarven writing on any of this. I can help with.
Yeah.
I can try and do a dwarven history kind of intelligence check.
I think history could be interesting. Insight could be interesting. I think whatever Thaddeus gets here will then affect like Haribo's subsequent check?
Cool.
No pressure.
No pressure, none at all.
Yeah, no pressure. That's a whopping 11. Yeah, I'm fairly sure this is dwarvish stuff. Yeah.
I mean, an 11's not nothing.
Dwarves were here.
I can smell them.
I think with an 11, you can read anywhere that there are labels, you can read what the labels say. And with that,
Okay.
I will give Haribo +1 to his roll. I think it would also be probably insight, unless you can think of a better artificery.
I mean, we've been using intelligence with proficiency as my artificer mechanical knowledge.
That works, yeah.
Natural 18 plus 5.
Nice.
23.
Okay.
Using whatever Thaddeus can read, we can parse these words together, because I know modern Dwarvish, and Thaddeus can now translate. That was the problem downstairs. I didn't have the translator for these words, but now that Thaddeus can just tell me what things say, I feel like I can move a lot quicker in this room.
Margery and Sparkleoneous, you went back the way you came. At the hatch, you find as many goblins will fit on top of the hatch are all standing on the hatch.
Gibb, you genius. This is such a good idea.
Just keep it closed.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, Gibb's not here. He went further down the hallway.
Oh,
There's goblins coming.
Oh, fuck.
They went to make a barricade.
he didn't go by himself?
I mean, he took the rest of us.
No.
Oh boy. Well, you lot just keep doing what you're doing. You're great at it.
Yeah, it feels good to have a purpose, I guess. I haven't heard a whole lot from down below just yet, but I'm sure there's going to be meaning to this job at some point.
Never stop dreaming.
Once they get through the ice.
And then I guess we head that way towards where the goblins point us.
Margery, do you have any more ice?
No.
What about, I don't know, a goat?
You have the patch list. You do have still quite a few things here.
Oh, she knows she has a goat.
You also have a cat.
I do know I have a goat, but I'm not sacrificing a goat or a cat.
How about a mule?
No.
It seems like a big necromancer thing to do to sacrifice a goat. I'm just saying. Maybe Vilshrun would like
Margery has, every necromancer has a thing.
that. And yours is
I prefer
stabbing.
Sacrificing
the blood
children,
of
not
a
goats.
sentient person.
Yeah, I was gonna say yours is stabbing kids.
Everybody kind of has their own preference, all right, in the necromancer world.
Yuck.
So no ice then, huh?
No ice then, huh? What, no ice?
You don't have any more fireworks left, Sparkleoneous?
I could make as many fireworks as you want, but I mean, they're not really tangible.
You guys come around this next corner, and you're closing in on HR. And you know you're closing in on HR because there's a lot of filing cabinets in this hallway. And that's definitely what HR is about.
I don't know what these are.
They all say property of HR on them.
They're so strange. These metal storage devices.
Fantasy filing cabinet?
No, real ones. Filing cabinets. There's only the one kind.
Fantasy people still need to store paperwork.
Paper? I only know of scrolls.
But a bunch of these filing cabinets have been tilted over to make a makeshift barricade. The goblin group, maybe like a third of them, had rudimentary bows and arrows, and they are firing from behind this barricade at 4 hobgoblins who are a bit further down the hallway, slowly advancing. Gibb is also there.
Gibb, you genius. This is such a great idea. That's what I said in the other room. Anyway,
So, my performance of creation, so far I've only used it to make the little guy that I impressed the Lord with. It says that I can make a medium or smaller object.
Okay.
How big is a medium object?
5 by 5.
Person-sized.
Person-sized?
Yeah, 5 foot by 5 foot.
Okay.
I make a box 5 foot by 5 foot.
I make an ice cube 5 foot by 5 foot.
Yep.
Yeah, a horse is a large creature, but a
Goat?
a pig is a medium creature.
Okay. Can I create what would you call that? In modern parlance, it would be known as sort of like a tank trap. I basically want to make a spiky wall, a little spiky wall in front of the filing cabinets here. I want to make this spot even more defendable.
Like they go both ways, the spikes on like a road in a medieval game.
Yeah.
Like a horse thing.
I just can't think of what that will be called. Spikes. I'm gonna make spikes.
Well, hold on.
A spiked barricade of some sort. I am curious what those things are called, but
Yeah.
Counterpoint. Can I make just like a giant quiver full of lots of arrows?
Chevaux de Frise. It's a French. It's anti-cavalry in French.
good.
I create a le anti-cavalry.
Yep, Chevaux de Frise.
You play a song.
Don't come near me. Stay away. Cheval de Frise.
We've gone with, I think, stone as what this passageway is made of. So the stone of the floor shapes up out of the floor into these interlocking spikes, patching up a weak point in this barricade. Gibb rushes over to Margery and he says,
Master, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're all right. I felt your life force ebb there for a minute.
Thanks, Gibb, but our Lord has blessed me with more time.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
Shush.
You're doing good work here, Gibb.
You're doing good work here too, Sparkleoneous.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Oh, and if they end up touching the spikes, it does play a song for them. They do hear a song. That's just fun for me, but
that is fun.
it is factual.
All right. You are searching the control center. I think your belt also reboots during this time. So you do have access to all of your belt-related things at this point.
I start pulling everything out of it and strapping it onto me just real quick while we're going through.
That's so funny.
Now you're just cranky.
Until I can figure this out.
You're starting to parse this. You're looking down at this huge engine. Some of the shapes of the components of the engines are lining up with some of the shapes here in the command console. Between the two of you, you figure out that these are the primary, secondary, and auxiliary turbines. And I think, Haribo, you managed to get under the hood of this thing, open up a panel on the bottom of the console and look underneath it. Perhaps give me a sleight of hand check here.
12. One of the least funniest numbers in D&D.
True enough. With a 12, you manage to identify the location of like the power source of this thing. It is not providing power to the console, but you see where it is connected.
Man, I wish I had his brain for this. If I maybe just need to provide like the electrical start.
Yeah, I think it needs some sort of alternate power to kickstart this room.
Yeah, he's gonna wearily gaze at his belt, and he's gonna look at Thaddeus, and he's gonna say, take a couple steps back. I don't know what is about to happen.
Okay, that is will back up several steps.
And I'm gonna use Shocking Grasp. My belt said it booted back up, so I'm just gonna try to use its electrical ability to jumpstart this machine at the power source. I'm kind of playing Calvin Ball with what I know.
Stand back. I'm gonna drop my pants.
Takes out his full butthole and Shocking Grasp with his hand this time.
I feel like there should be a roll, but I can't imagine quite what it would be.
At most, Shocking Grasp is an attack roll, which is going to use my intelligence and proficiency, which would be the same as an artificer roll. So either way, it's kind of in that realm.
Yeah, sure. Attack this power box.
17.
Its AC was 1, so you hit it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you get in there and you blast it. You give it a good 10 seconds of voltage.
6 points of lightning damage.
Maybe 6 seconds of voltage.
Yeah.
And you see, if you imagine turning on like a 50s atomic bunker for the first time in decades, the lights begin to sort of slowly wink on. Lots of ambers and reds in here. The reports are not good. The readouts are bad.
Do we get the sound that like...
It's a low hum interspersed with clicks and clacks as dials calibrate and things whir.
Haribo shudders a bit and looks at Thaddeus.
Thaddeus, what do you make of all this?
Haribo's got his hand in the engine.
This is outside of my realm of comfort. I can read the language, but I can't operate this stuff.
He was in Haribo's body, so that's kind of cool that they're both having this tech moment in the Halloween episode.
He was in Haribo's what?
Ooh. All right, fan artist.
All right, fan artist, stop it.
Thaddeus would be like, now what do we do? Now that you've zapped it to life. Now what do we do with the rest of these panels?
Haribo catches himself and catches his breath. He's like, oh, this is... Whew, it's been a minute since I've felt power like this. He closes the panel with a firm grasp, and he goes to figuring out which buttons to press. He cracks his knuckles. He's so excited to drive something. He feels like once he gets going, he'll know how the machine wants to be moved. Because for a pilot, it's supposed to be intuitive. We may not know, but once you know, I feel like it's intuitive for a pilot. And he's not a pilot, but he would have... Oh no, he said he couldn't drive. Oh
It's
no.
canon.
Yeah,
can't drive.
I was just about to say this is actually
shit.
possibly the worst possible outcome of you trying to drive this thing.
Okay. While he cannot drive well, he has been trained.
Everyone can drive.
The thing wants to be driven.
Great.
Define drive.
Divine fuck. Okay, he's gonna look fine. He doesn't know how to drive. He's gonna look for a reverse. He knows we're in the mountain. He's gonna look for whatever reverse is. Damn it. He can't drive. He wanted to be so cool in this moment. He's just gonna fucking look for a reverse to pull as hard as he can.
Everyone knows Margery's the cool one.
Yeah.
I got the shades,
As
man.
Thaddeus watches this wash across Haribo's face, he's feeling less and less confident.
He clicks it down, and then the sheer terror crosses his brow.
Cracks knuckles and then like, oh,
Thaddeus,
shit.
I don't know
And
how to
shits
drive.
himself. Thaddeus, do you know how to drive?
I can steer a wagon.
Can we figure out where the steering is?
Sparkleoneus and Margery feel like a chill of fear
Yeah.
as they're down, separated.
And then falling down from a panel in the roof, it's Barson, and Barson says, I can drive.
And we get out of here. We all put shades on, and it's really cool.
Thaddeus is gonna look for more direction.
Yeah, no, I try to find a wheeled, like, directions to put Thaddeus on. You drive, if we can figure it out, and I'll run, like, I don't know, power to whatever engines need. There's a lot of buttons to press. I can't imagine they would have put these here for no reason.
Gotta press these buttons.
It only makes sense that they would be where the pilot needs, but I don't know how to drive.
So across this panel, you've been interacting with one section of it. There are a total of 3. This section, which provided power to the room, the second section, which has the readouts for the engine itself, and then the last section, which appears to be much more of a controller type situation, many more levers and knobs here. This is also where the comfy chair is.
Ooh, comfy chair.
Yep, that's got to be yours, Thaddeus.
All right. Yeah.
We position Thaddeus in the comfy chairs next to all the levers, and I'll stay on the readouts. There's got to be ways I can adjust them. I don't know. Biggest thing, though, looking for a reverse just to pull. So this thing goes backwards.
Yeah. Are any of these levers labeled by any chance?
Yeah, I would say there's some labels in here. I would say they'd probably be more symbols than labels, so give me an insight check.
Can he have advantage with my, like, science knowledge of machines?
We absolutely can.
Hell yeah, teamwork. Gang, gang.
Thank you. And that's a 17.
Yes.
Yeah, I think between the two of you, you decipher some of these. I think you do find the lever to pull back to be in the right position. I think the problem here is that you've provided power to the room, but not power to the engine.
Oh.
Raggy.
I'll figure it out. And I run across the room. Back into place, Thaddeus! Put it back into place! And I run across the room.
Inspecting the engine component, there is the readouts for the 3 different primary, secondary, auxiliary engines. There are lights for each of them. No lights at all, or at least dials for lights. No lights at all for primary and secondary. Auxiliary is blinking red. There are also buttons beneath each of these readouts, and to one side there is another lever that you guys managed to decipher says emergency access hatch.
Sweet, Haribo, you gonna hop on Ox?
There's too much power on the first engine, that's why we are getting red light, and so we're going to use these second 2 engines, so I need to power them.
There's buttons
So-
beneath each of them. There's no lights currently
No lights?
on primary or secondary.
Okay.
I wonder if the buttons are startup buttons.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna press the button for the first one that's blinking. Well, let me do an intelligence check. Again, my sort of artificer knowledge check to see if there's knowledge that I don't have that Haribo would have. That's a nat 1. I'm gonna press that first button. I don't get it. Haribo's like, if the first one doesn't work, I'll press the second to turn it on, and it'll have some power probably. And if not, there's a hatch for something.
Okay, you press this first button, and you see things happen in a portion of the engine room below you. You feel shuddering and juddering beneath your feet. The lights on the other 2 engines flicker, and then everything just goes and goes back down to silence.
Well, that almost worked.
Yep, I mean, I'm gonna work on getting it back up and running so I can press button number 2. That'll take a second, Thaddeus. Keep a lookout.
Okay.
And get back to trying to crack it open and shock and grasp. It's a cantrip, so it's a free spell, but I imagine that'll take me a second.
I will say there is also the emergency access hatch lever.
I mean, when I hit the second button, if nothing occurs, the third button would probably not work either, so then it would be the emergency access hatch.
That's true. So you're pressing the second button?
Yeah, once I get everything back up and running again, press the second button. I don't understand what these do, but if the second button gets the second engine working and taking power, then I press the third button, third engine kicks on and takes the rest of it, and we're hopefully good to go would be my thought about how this works, but I don't know for sure. This is all riding by the seat of my pants. Shots in the dark.
Yes, indeed. You press the second button and it goes click.
Yeah, cool. After that I would imagine the third button doesn't work. When I press the access hatch, what happens? Because that, I guess, would be my next step.
When you pull the access hatch lever, a circle in the floor behind you guys slides open. Inside it is another slide. Thaddeus, give me a perception check.
Okay. It's going to be a 15.
I think with a 15, you see, looking out the window, another circular panel slide open in the engine room.
I would point that out to Haribo.
Oh, sweet. In the tunnel I go, then. I gotta do something in there, I guess. I say as I head down the tunnel. Keep a lookout on the panel!
Okay, I'll watch things here.
You slide down this tube, and you go around some corners and dips, and you slide out in the engine room. These massive turbines before you. And you look up and you see Thaddeus. He seems pretty small up in the window. But you can, down here, identify the turbine that did power on when you pressed that first button. There is more Dwarven writing on here, and I think given the experiences that you've now had, I'd give you advantage on that roll.
Don't need it. Natural 20 on the first roll.
Oh, hot diggity.
I gotta get these other 2 turbines started.
Indeed, and what you interpret here is that this turbine is the jump start, but there are cases when it itself needs to be jump started. The writing here provides directions and instructions for where to go to jumpstart it.
I'm running. I'm imagining I'm gonna need a shock and grasp to get these things started. That's how all these machines have worked so far. Or firebolt. I got one in one hand and one in the other, and I'm running I got this, Thaddeus. I'm waving up and running.
Thaddeus is waving back.
I'd watch this show.
Turns out it wasn't an NPC. It was Haribo and Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Sorry, meanwhile, Sparkleoneus and Margery. Hold the line, Margery.
Arrows coming in.
Hold the line. Not back 1 inch.
And the goblins are shooting arrows, and Gibb and Margery are trying to tip more filing cabinets down on the hobgoblins.
I mean, give me a chance. I've got a fireball
You do have a delayed blast fireball.
and 2 jars of spiders.
They are very different things, though. They're so different.
I wonder how you're going to get back out of the engine room.
It's a later problem.
Yeah, do you have suction cup
The first problem is getting the engine started. Haribo is not worried about leaving the engine room yet.
magnet?
Haribo, you follow these directions. You pull all of the different levers and knobs that it says to get the engine in optimal configuration to get the jump start, and you follow the arrows, and the arrows take you back around a corner to a hatch. You come up to this hatch, and you've got your fire and your shocking grasp primed and ready, and You're checking to see what's the best mode to jumpstart this thing. As you're doing that, a voice calls out to you, and it says, Haribo, how could you?
Fuck you. Not alone. I was planning on having Margery kill her. That's not...
Ooh, I'm gonna keep my hands clean this time.
Kendra, I will answer you next episode. This is not fair. I need time to think. Oh, not cool.
I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Haribo.
Can we end there? Can we end on Haribo? How could you?
Yes, we absolutely can end there.
That's great. That's great.
Everyone needs time to think.
Yeah, who's the evil one now? You're just gonna murder her. She caught you doing something evil and you're just gonna murder.
No. I guess have been granted another opportunity to show her the way out, but man, when we made jokes about the last sight, she was like waving to her friends or whatever, crossing the borders into freedom.
We were like, oh, she's gonna die.
This feels like that realm, you know what I mean? Me killing her absolutely is in that same kind of realm of like unbelievable. Ugh. I don't want to kill her.
As is the circle of life.
You could always go back to Plan D.
No, wait.
Plan D Part 2?
Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, A Wider World is DM'd by Theodore Stringer. The players in this episode were Lawrence Jennings as Sparkleoneous, Grace Stringer as Margery Ridgeback, Mike Harrison as Thaddeus Ofkoot, and myself, M. Williams, as Haribo Tamagotchi. Drop us a review and a rating to let us know what you think of this season, and be sure to set a reminder for April 17th for the closure of Act 1 of our story here. You won't want to miss this gut-wrenching finale. And don't you worry, we've already begun preparations for the next adventure, another fun romp in a zany retro world. For more information, make sure to check out the Patreon where there's info soon to come. That's patreon.com/ddadpodcast, or you can check the description below. Talk to you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Gabe, did you also giggle at the beginning of the podcast too? Were you giggling at the same thing during intros?
When Haribo couldn't pronounce his own name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mispronounced mine in solidarity, and I am kind of offended no one else did.
I was worried if I did it.
I didn't have the name.
Oh my god. That's not accurate.
Margery.
Not accurate. The actual podcast will show differently, and it will show that I didn't mess up ever, not once.
Yeah, so I'm going to look like the fool. Cool. Got it.
I don't even say the word, and I'm such a good editor, I'm going to cut that one out too, so it's going to sound real weird.
I don't even say.
I don't even say the word.